Hello. Obviously it's been a while as well as you've once. A few years, obviously there were. But we're back. We're back only to discuss Kingdom, which, in my opinion, has been the best WFC Trilogy chapter. I don't think, personally, Siege at Earthrise has topped it. That's probably just me saying this is the first one I probably went all in on. Earthrise was pretty much pick and choose. The final wave, there wasn't anything because I wasn't going to run amok without getting run about, and I wasn't going to get Sunstreaker without having a sideswipe. And I didn't have the hoist, so I didn't get the Trailbreaker. And Fast Track, I did not have Scorponok. But I say that, I have Black Zarak now, so I could go in on getting Battle Reachy, but he already comes with Spear. So there's not really any need for that, but that's not. We're going to talk about Kingdom. And the reason it is my favourite Wolf Sabron line, which starts with the fact that it is an OG one. We've needed a line on this for quite a while. Siege was good because of Sabatroni. We needed some of them for quite a while. Sad though we didn't get the Sabatroni Bumblebee until now. We haven't still got a Sabatroni Wheeljack, which we should. We need one. Hopefully, Legacy. But with the rumoured listings, everything, that's not going to happen unless we get an exclusive. But I'm hoping an exclusive will be an animated figure because we desperately need some new animated figures. But enough about that. It's Kingdom. Siege was great, right? The figures and the quality was fantastic. The only figure I've had a problem with, Springer, but everyone's had a problem. The leg was just a bit off. And it was good, do not get me wrong. But it didn't interest me that much. Well, then again, when Siege started, I wasn't all about scale or keeping everything the same. It was more of just get a version of a character. As long as I have a version of a character, it is fine. But obviously, I'm like every other collector now was, oh, was the bad version? Get that one, get that one, get that one. Because I wasn't. Now on to Earthrise, I wasn't inevitably going to get the Earthrise Optimus Prime. But then I did. Just like I wasn't in Kingdom going to get the Red Alert, because when I see Red Alert. But Earthrise, we can all agree, with the Waspinator trilogy. The quality was terrible. The range of figures was basically Siege, but Earth, plus a bunch of weird spacey stuff, which that's my favourite part about Earthrise, the weird spacey stuff, Snapdragon, the Quintessons, Double Dealer. They were the best part of Earthrise. Obviously, that Prime is a fantastic figure. So were the Battle Dodgers. Those are amazing. But Kingdom. The first wave. Peak Kingdom. My first wave in anything really. Because the first wave of SSA 16 didn't interest me that much. Other than Jazz and Scourge. That was it. But then obviously I ended up getting all of Wave 1. And the great figures, especially the Grimlock, is fantastic. I am so shocked at how good he was. He should have been in Siege though. He suits Siege a lot more than SS86. But I named him again, I keep going on tangents. But Kingdom, the first wave, the quality was like we went back to Siege again. Feels, Optimus Primal, outstanding. The power of the Primes on, it never interested me because I wasn't getting leaders then. Because I always found them too big, and they never ever made a leader Galvatron, obviously, but now. So I never went into leaders into the WFC Trilogy when I got Ultra Magnus and Shockwave, obviously, from Siege, which then kicked off my leader collecting again. But obviously, when Wave 2 came, it was good. But the selection wasn't as good as Wave 1 of Kingdom. Wave 3, obviously, selection was great. Quality dipped. In comes Wave 4. I'm in love with it so far. Is it? Because Wave 5 is mainly just Blaster. And I would say I finished with Kingdom, but I'm not. I still want Pterosaur and Blaster. That's it. Well, say Pterosaur. Blaster's the one I want now. But Wave 4 picked up the quality again. It went back to Wave 2 quality, not Wave 1. Wave 1 quality is great on that one. But even the Gen Select figures, which I really only got Transmutated and Ramjet, which, do you really count these Ramjet as a Kingdom figure? I haven't. It's not really Kingdom mold, it's more of an Earthrise mold. So is Inferno, but he's still in Kingdom. But other than all my complaints, I've just enjoyed it so much because the characters you get in them. Who would have thought, right, that we'd get a Beast Wars Ravage in the year 2021. Well, it's 2022 now, but it came out in 2021 and I got it in 2021. So, who would have thought, though? Who would have thought? Same with a Beast Wars Megatron. Probably one of my standout figures of Kingdom, if I will be honest. But so now let's get on to talk about the individual figures from the Kingdom. So the first one I got, well, we're going to go in order I got them. Some of them are in waves, but some of them aren't. I got Retrospective first, who is probably, well, I've only got him and Vertibrake, so I can't really say who my favourite was out of not having any of them. Well, if I get the sound, I'll probably say him because everyone sleeps with it like him. He does look fantastic. But he is a great little figure. Very small for a rat trap. I would have liked a cliff jumper size one, but it's good for what we got. Scales well with Primal, but with Dinobot, a bit too small. A bit too small for Dinobot. But yeah, he was the first one I got. The first Kingdom and the only Kingdom figure I got in 2020. Got on Christmas Eve because I pre-ordered him thinking, oh, the cores will come up for the rest of them, so I didn't pre-order Black Arachnia. But obviously I was wrong. The cores and the rest of them came out at the same time, apart from the leaders. Megatron didn't do, for some strange reason, I don't know why. But he's good. Nothing much to say about him, other than his colours could be a bit darker, and that's really it. Oh, I don't want to talk about this one ever again, but Cheetor. He would be good if it wasn't for the yellow plastic. It's thin. It is incredibly thin, and everything just feels like it's going to break on him. I mean, he looks good, do not get me wrong, but out of all of them, here, he's definitely in the top 3 inaccurate robot modes, which that's what Kingdom was going for. Accurate robot modes, realistic beast modes. But obviously Kingdom Cheetor did not get the message. But everything that's come from this mold since has been good. So it's just probably the plastic that's the bad, plus the weapons. Atrocious way, but it's not suiting me. Suit Shadow Panther though. So the next figure I got, well, I mean, I got these two the same day, Black Arachnia and Cheetor. First figures I got in 2021 actually with these two. With Black Arachnia is the next one. I opened Black Arachnia first, but I just wanted to get the random Cheetor out of the way. She is so accurate, and I'm hoping that Legacy give us an animated remold. Not remold, I mean, it would be good to get a new head for her, but it suits already like this. Animated repaint of her, because it, even if it's inaccurate for the animated design, because obviously the animated design has the legs sticking up and actual hands. They could easily give us actual hands, just remold that bits of hands, but other than that, obviously I'm talking about animated figure here. But she's a good looking Black Arachnia. Excuse me. But I just don't like how she doesn't have a waist. That's the only problem I have with this figure. She does not have a waist swivel. She would really suit one, considering obviously she's a seductress in Beast Wars, and she's an athletic one as well. You know, she kicks high and she spins a lot. She would suit it a lot, but obviously the way she transforms is unfortunate. I wish they could have done what they did with Chromie though, and give her a small one there. It would be good. Sorry, ignore Walter. He's just a puppy. If you hear that barking, it's Walter. She, one of my favourite figures, obviously. She was number one last year for my favourite figures of the year, but she's one of my favourite Kingdom figures. One of my favourite Cybertron figures anyway. The next one I got the next two in the same day as well. Is Optimus Primal. He is absolutely fantastic. The only thing that I could complain about him is his feet are weird. You can't get them exactly straight to the actual leg. You've got to kind of bend them a bit, give him the animated look. Well, I mean, like the way they have the legs is always like angled, so you can't always have it straight, which is annoying. But other than that, he's a perfect looking Primal. I know people have said they hate the fur texture, but it suits the Wolf Cybertron line. And plus, each generation is a masterpiece. Which the masterpiece one, in my opinion, does not look as good as this one, even if it is very accurate to the Beast Wars costume. But you know what I don't like for my imperfections. I do like them. He's a good figure. He's dual coated, even though he's the same size as he looks Ironhide. He's a Voyager. The quality on him is fantastic. There's not a single loose bit on him. And it annoys me that they've released him in the Netflix line with just the inferior paint, in my opinion. Inferior colours. Not as good as this, even if it's more accurate to Beast Wars. And then the one I got on the same day as Primal, probably everyone's favourite, Cyclonus. He's perfect, but as much as I love him, he's not as good as a few of figures. I mean, I like him. Don't get me wrong, he is perfect, but he's just, I don't know what it is. I'm sounding very negative on him. I'm not, but everyone said everything and bled him to death for, you know, him being as good as he is and the most perfect Cyclonus. Which is not wrong, he's the most perfect Cyclonus we've gotten. I mean, even if the head's a bit off and the colours are a bit too light, but I do kind of like this, it feels quite nice. He doesn't fit in mainly with the Wolf Cybertron, he fits in more with 86 because he's not got all the greebles that the Wolf Cybertron line has. But he's so good. He's so good, even though I sound like I'm complaining about him. But it was nitpicks. Because, I mean, I had the Combinables launch my first one. One of the first things I even got when I came back in Transformers collecting, just Transformers in general. And then at TF Nation a few years back, 2019 it was, the last one before obviously all this stuff happened. I got the Universe one. And this one is pretty much that, but with a waist and ankles. Still good. This is a fantastic figure. And now another figure I got was Vertibrake. She was mainly because I watched Perspective End's video on her. You know what, she was good, so I got her. I mean, I keep her in this mode. Same with Palo checks on the dinosaur modes, so I've got them on my shelf. That one up there with Skylinks near the fan, just to have them decorating it because they do look good. There's not much to say about them. They're not really much of a character, are they? They just look good in these modes. The next one is one of my favourites out of the entirety of Kingdom. That is leader Megatron. He is so big. I'm pretty sure he's the biggest Wolf of Cybertron leader we've had. Obviously, Grimlock's the biggest leader we've had for a while, but he isn't in the Wolf Cybertron line. just look at him. Even with all that stonking backpack, he is such a good figure. He's glorious. Like, when I took him out of the box, going in pretty much, I think it was a year today actually. I was stunned with how big, hefty he was. I like how he's bigger than G1 style Megatron from the Cybertron line. I have the Netflix one, so I'll be on that one. It just screams Beast. Well, this is one of the ones I was most anticipating from the leaked listings of them all. And then when he was announced, I just couldn't stop looking at the pictures of him. And then when American YouTubers started getting the reviews in of him, I stunned at him. Stunned. Because he's glory. I haven't got a bad thing to say about him other than that crotch. When you transform him, a bit on the hard side. But he's a fantastic figure. I don't care if you don't like Beast Wars. Get one now. Now we're on to the beginning of Wave 2, even though I'm not even going to build from Wave 1 yet, but obviously I'm going in the order I got them. This first figure I got from Wave 2 was my most wanted figure from Wave 2. One of the most wanted figures in the entirety of Kingdom. Dinobot. I'm speechless. Just like Megatron. He is perfect, glorious, stunning. I mean, that head sculpt. Wow. It's more accurate. I mean, you can't really see because my film camera's weird and I'm in a weird angle right now, but absolutely fantastic. Obviously, one of the best, but probably is the biggest Beast Wars Kingdom Voyager. Is the biggest Beast Wars character we've had, except for Megatron. And the only bad thing I have is that I've got QC with a foot. This one's loose, this one isn't. So it's weird to get him standing sometimes. But other than that, he's great. I love him. Oh my gosh. To think we're living in the age where we have stuff this good now. Shocking, especially when we've just come back from the bloody Primal Trilogy. Next one I got was Earthrise, who was said to be the worst figure in the line. But obviously is one of the best. She was probably the biggest shock of Kingdom for me. Just like Hot Rod was and Grimlock were for the 36, this was my biggest shock for Kingdom. She's not a good transformer in a way. When she transforms, I love it. And I love her alt mode. The thing that surprised me, and probably a lot of other people as well, was the articulation on her. She's fantastic. I'm glad the Pterosaur's based on her, even though obviously the Pterosaur's problems with his wing coming off and his feet are a bit loose. But then again, for the loose feet, we're going to do the bowl joints holding that much of a backpack, more backpack than this. But if you wanted, you could always spread the wings out. But man, the wings are obviously probably might be the best bit about this figure because they're so poseable. When I get back into do reviews, if I ever do, really, let's be honest, and I review her, I will show it all off, even if you've all seen it 20,000 times from everyone else. But it's such a good figure. It's such a good one, and I love the Skywalker's one as well. the next one, and the final one of Wave 2 until we get later down the line. Inferno! I got him because I grapple, and the grapple mode is good. This one's a lot better than grapple. Even though it's annoying how it isn't the Beast Dwarves Inferno, but we were already going to get one of these anyway. He's a great figure, he's fantastic. I just wish he had some black there, some black on the shoulders to break out all that red, because then again, black and red is a classic colour scheme. Probably tell the shirt I'm wearing. But he's a good figure. He's great. I've got nothing to complain about him. He's perfect. That's all you can say. Paleodrex. I got her when I bought a load of manga from Worlds Apart in Liverpool. She is the only fossilized that I was really interested in. I mean, I want to get Ractonite and Wingfinger. Wingfinger's £5, obviously, in Smith's. Still isn't tempting that much. But I want to get them because I like the combiner. And I like the idea of the fossilizers more than the weaponized and the modulators. They're a terrible idea. I mean, I like the brunt. I have the brunt because obviously I have Tripticon. I want to get Black Rorichi because obviously I have but this just makes more sense to me. The bones, they should be able to fall to bits. I mean, come on. But yeah, she's a good figure, mainly in this mode. Next up is the first one I got from Wave 3. One of the best figures of Kingdom. Galvatron. Again, what can I say about him that hasn't been said before? He's perfect. The Matrix is a bit annoying because I've got 3 of these now. Thank God I didn't get Rodimus. I mean, he's cheap now, but I just have no interest in him. Then I would have got another Matrix. There's too many Matrix. Matri, Matrix I, Matrixes. Whatever the plural is for Matrix. There's too many of them. We don't need that many. I'm hoping the Golden Disc doesn't become the new Matrix. That would be so annoying if it did. Then again, I even got a Golden Disc yet. Although, Carousel. But he's such a good figure. He feels great. He feels better than the Megatron. Then again, the Megatron is covered in rubber for skin. But he's a good figure. I like him, and that's really all I can say about him. He's good. He's the best Galvatron I've had Titan's Return, and I've had the Universe. They're nowhere near as good as this. I love the Universe one because there's less talent attached to it. But this one, fantastic. Now we're on to, well, at least the weakest wave, and Galvatron can get off, which is one of the strongest figures in that wave. One of the strongest in Kingdom, really. But we all know these ones are coming up. Scorponok. He's good. I like him. But it's just the Scorpion mode. If the legs could actually touch the ground, then he would actually be alright. I'm not saying he's bad. He's probably he's the best out of the worst. Well, Cheetos now he's fit, but you know. This one is, he feels light compared to other deluxes, even Black Arachnia. And she's the thinnest out of all of them. He's not bad, he's just not the best, really. I want the Samsung repaint of this, obviously, because yeah, it was quite nice. Same with the Buzzsaw, but Night Prowler, I don't want another Cheetor figure. Thank you very much. But he looks good, this one. And I've got him in a pose where he looks more like he's hunched, which is kind of how he was like in the show, and it suits him a lot more. Tracks. I'm not going to lie, I actually like him. It's just the legs are loose and they don't tab in. If I can thicken up that tab, I think he'd be alright and I'd transform him more, but I just don't do much of him. He looks fantastic. I mean, I was excited because I love the design of tracks. I was hoping that he would just be a repaint of Runabout and Runabout because that mold is fantastic and it was suitable a lot more, even if it'd be a lot Ian who'd be inaccurate, but there are ways to obviously move it around. They've proven that by giving us Pterosaur from Airraiser. But he still looks great. He's fantastic. But he just really, just those legs. Those legs. I don't hate this. I don't. I actually really like him. He's a good figure. I know I'm going to get probably a bit of hate for that. But probably because I didn't grow up on Beast Wars at all. I did not grow up on Animated and RID 2001 and Prime, which I'm glad we're getting Prime because in Legacy. That's what I grew up on. That's what I watched. Probably the reason I think this looks good. Other than, of course, he is very thin. He's the same width of my finger, and I've got incredibly thin fingers. I like his weapons. I just think from obviously watching Beast Wars now, they are incredibly thin compared to what he needs to be. He doesn't really look like Rhinox. He looks like Rhinox, but he doesn't look like Rhinox. Like, he doesn't feel like Rhinox. And the transformation back from Rhino mode. I want to transform all my Maximals. Well, all the Season 1 ones anyway, not Skywarp and Transmutate. All together. Let's get that good group shot. But this guy's transformation back, I do not enjoy it whatsoever. But he's a good figure. His articulation is fantastic. He's got some of the best in the world Trilogy, which is shocking considering he's a scientist. Probably smarter than Wheeljack, but he's just a bit iffy. Warpath. I like this guy so much. He's so good. This is my final Wave 1 figure that I picked up. Finally finished all the ones I wanted. I've got all of them, actually. All of Wave 1 Barcore Prime. He looks so good. Look at him. And he feels great. I mean, I got him in October and he was just staying there. I was like, how about the bullet? And I get him. I'm so glad I did. He is so good. So good. You cannot. This is my favorite Minibot, if you couldn't tell. Out of all the ones that have been released in the World Cybertron Trilogy. I like Power of the Prime Tailgate, but he takes the icing on the cake. Well, he is the ice. Whatever the saying goes. He is a perfect rendition of Warpath. I like how you can kind of flip out the tracks a bit and give him like a saw blade type of weapon. That suits him a lot, despite him just being the guy with the bigger boobs than Shockwave. It's a good figure, and I like the transformation. It's very, very smart. Shadow Panther. I surprisingly like him quite a bit. One of my favourite Kingdom figures, and I can't believe I'm saying that for a figure that is literally just Cheetable black. But that's the thing. It's the black plastic. It's a lot thicker than that yellow stuff. And the weapon suits him a lot more. He has the mutant head. Plus headcanon him as Rampage from the old Predacons in Generation 1 being resurrected, but as a Phantom he didn't fully go through. As now one of the heralds of the Tripredacus Council working with Ravage. Because obviously he is the Tripredacus Agent Transmetal figure is based on the Shadow Panther figure from Beast Wars. And that's why I kind of gave him the Tripredacus backstory. But he looks incredible. I really like him. He's good. He takes everything that the Q-Top did and fixes it. Next, I got Waspinator. Now, for every Black Arachnia, I have a Waspinator, which makes me very happy. And this guy, he's so good. He's a great looking figure, but that chest though is kind of annoying because it never stays open. I wish there was a way to open it and then slam it shut. But obviously, there isn't. Which is a tad bit annoying. But at least he looks good. The weapon's a bit weird because he doesn't really have a stinger, so you can't shoot it. Probably because Hasbro realised that male wasps do not have stingers and it's only the females. So, Waspinator, you're part of the alphabet as well. Come on, man. Join Chrome Dome and rewind. But he looks good. He's incredible, in my opinion. Bit too small, but he works. I'll say that. I grew up with a Waspinator that was ginormous. About Megatron size, obviously animated. The figure was tiny though, compared to how it was in the actual show, but he's a good figure. It's good. Animated reference to several wings. Next was Gift from Zorrider Huffer. He's great. Great, and I'm so glad I got him because I got him, I can get Pipes. And Pipes is a great mold. A great figure as well, along with him. These are both good. There's not much to say about them really, because they are good, but compared to Pipes, Huffer doesn't really have much to say about him, in my opinion. I mean, I love the weapons, but yeah, he's good. And thank you once again, Zorrider. Oh, no, don't fall transmute it. Riddler. I love this mold so much. This and the Sideswipe. And possibly Clamp Down are great. I can't complain. There's nothing I want to complain about these two. This mold is fantastic. The colour's great. Hasbro knew what they were doing, really, let's be honest, with Siege. They knew we'd buy them and then buy the others. They're not stupid. They got us, but it was worth it. It was worth it. Oh, Skywalker, bloody hell. Transmutate. She's good, but she don't stand. Then again, I've got her in a fan mode where she actually looks like she's from the show, giving her a hand and obviously a gun. And that creepy smile. There's only one thing that everyone literally has with her is that's a bit loose. I mean, it's a payload effect free paint, but it works, and it's the only time they've ever gotten me to buy the same fossil, the same weaponizer mold. Then again, I only have Brunton in this mold, so I want to get that accessory pack just for Roller. I know it's won't be gun, but I don't want a Centurion drone, so I didn't get it. So this is the only mold I've bought twice. That's a weaponizer, fossilizer, modulator thing. But she looks good. She looks great. She just doesn't really transform. Ooh. These two are a 2-pack and are obviously repainted, which I'll talk about them both together. His clothes are great. I love how it's a repaint of Earthrise that is of an obscure Japanese character. And I like that because it goes along with Black Zarak. Well, not really, but you know what I mean. Then there is Sideswipe. Please ignore the bath. Obviously, I can never do one of these without getting some noise. This is the better use of the mold in my opinion. Because obviously Red Alert is supposed to have the doors that come down here. And he looks more accurate to the actual Red Alert. But he's great. I never had the original Sideswipe, Siege Sideswipe, but I wanted it. But I got this one instead. And I'm very happy with myself. He's great. If you can't tell with the smile on my face. He feels great too. I love the plastic feel to him. Something about the plastic and the white as well. Oh, it's so nice. Another Cheeto mold. Am I ever gonna get sick of buying this bloody thing? Ravage! I like him. He's definitely one of the best Kingdom figures. A big surprise, considering it's a Cheeto mold, just like Shadow Panther was. But it just seems I like black cats. Apparently, according to my preference on what Cheeto mold I prefer. This is a great figure. Is it £50 worth? Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, it is. It feels premium. Everything is tight, nothing will fall off. The shoulders are a bit loose, but then again, I have got him holding two big guns. The mouth can articulate. The head, again, camera, very thing, but he's good. He's brilliant. I really like him. And I'm shocked we've actually got one. And like, I hope they do a Transmetal Tigertron out of it, but at the same time, I won't buy it. Because the only Transmetal molds I would really be interested in getting are a Transmetal 2. Transmetal 2 or Transmetal Tarantulas? Transmetal 2 Megatron, which Legacy. A Depth Charge and a Rampage. Obviously a Quick Strike as well, but he's not really Transmetal. He's a Fusor, same with Silverbot. But he's great. I really like him. Really, really like him. We're getting to the very end now. Tigertron. How on earth he won Best Figure from Best Kingdom figure, I will never know. But that doesn't mean he's a bad figure. Just doesn't deserve to win the better prize of Best Kingdom figure. In my opinion, anyway. He looks great. He feels great. I love the pearlescent plastic on him. You can't see it on this film because obviously camera quality, but he's great. I really like him. I just hate that he has to walk around with this. But as his gun, which Cheeto should have come with, and I am tempted to buy an upgrade kit, but at the same time, I don't like Cheeto that much to actually buying one. But he looks great. He feels great. He's a good Voyager and he's a good size compared to Primal. Now on to the final figure. Which is kind of sad. Because I love Kingdom so much. But Pipes. We're ending it on an obvious repaint that was obviously going to come out. He's a good figure. He's fantastic in my opinion. He feels better than the Pipes. And I don't know if it's again because of the white plastic. I like white plastic apparently. Very clean white plastic, unlike cheap Tigertrons. But he is very nice. I like his weapons. I like how he's got egg transformations that way you can, if you wanted to, make him more like Huffer. Or obviously if you wanted to be further down you could, then you just got that over his head. Is that more IDW look? I have no clue. Or obviously just have it up like that, or G1 accurate and be like that, but then it sticks out like that and it looks better like that in my opinion. But yeah, we've ended Kingdom. Well, I've ended Kingdom on Pipes because Blaster is technically Legacy and Pterosaur is not in Kingdom packaging, and neither was Ravage, but I still counted him. So that is Kingdom. My favourite War for Cybertron chapter, really. And I hope you've enjoyed my ramblings on this subject of Kingdom. I also really like the Netflix show as well, but that's for another day because no one else likes it apparently. But thank you for watching. Please tell me what your favourite chapter is. Or Kingdom figure. Oh, I don't even know what mine is. I can't even decide. I would go Black Arachnia, because obviously Black Arachnia bias over here. But I really like Megatron. So I think I'll go with Megatron. So thank you for watching again, and I'll see you later. Adios.